getting ready to do some Destiny. Doing it on my HMD, as you can see. It makes everything better that way. So I appreciate anyone who's joining, and let's get our game on. Sorry, I gotta move my touch controllers. Otherwise it puts up my manager buttons, so that's fine. Yeah, beautiful. Alright, so the only thing we want to do now is just sit right. Alright, so hopefully you guys hear me just fine, and you still hear the Destiny music. I'm hearing it, and I'm seeing it, so let's get our game on. So I'm using Vortex. This isn't big screen, and this isn't virtual desktop. I'm using Vortex because I think it gives the best experience. You're able to curve the screen both horizontally as well as vertically, and you're able to do this huge screen, which I absolutely love. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my settings for Vortex just to make sure all is good. Alright, so okay, we got our maximum screen curvature on. We'll turn on some room anti-alias so that it gives it a little bit better of a thing here, and then we'll work on how close or how far my alright, there we go. So now it's right there in front of me. So I really wish I could, I guess I could set up the mirror and you guys could see it. And one of these times I will. But right now, ooh, what happened there? Jump out of our thing. Right now, let's play some Destiny. Alright, so I wanted to do a character that's going to be solely just for us. And I've been, playing these ones kind of myself, so you guys have kind of missed some of the excitement, and I know that we, did a little bit here and there. I did some test streams, but this is how I want to play it, and I want to be able to play it, like from the beginning all the way through to the end, and the end means all the way to Destiny 2. So I hope you guys enjoy the journey, and I thought the 100 would be the funnest one for us all to play together. So. I don't know how many of you have played Destiny, but it's an absolutely fantastic game. Originally, I bought Destiny 2, and I thought I was just going to play that. Hold on, I'm going to clean my HMD lens. I thought I was just going to play that, and then I realized there was such a great storyline involved, so I was like, wait a second. There's such an awesome storyline here. I am missing out, and I know I could have watched the cutscenes. In fact, a lot of times in animation, I set up our cutscenes, but I wanted to be able to actually, play it all the way through myself. There's a difference between watching it and playing it. So kind of like being in a movie versus just watching. Alright. It's kind of like going to a theme park, versus just watching people at a theme park. So I also have some VR to do, but as most of you know, I'm sure there's several out there just like me that absolutely love this game.
start with Destiny, but play through and enjoy the whole thing. So it's in first person, and if you play in VR, you will totally feel like you're in that first person. We'll be playing a little bit of Onward here soon. I did a little bit of test Onward today, and it was good, but definitely felt like I need another week before I'm really jumping into Onward. I think I dropped a knee or so. All right, here we go. I just can't explain to you guys how amazing it is. I know that those that have done VR, you know, that you're very amazed by VR itself, but even sitting straight forward, this is just absolutely amazing. So we still have some kids up front, so you probably hear the wife maybe a little in the background, but not much we can do about that. I wanted to definitely get on a stream and play and enjoy this time with you guys. I may put on some Iron Maiden here and mute my mic for just a little bit while I finish going to bed. Plus, you know, I enjoy listening to Son of the Seven Son. I may not do that with this as low.
I hope you know how to use that thing.
I hope I know how to use that thing too. Alright, so I started this a little earlier, so the only thing you guys missed was that he came out and he revived me, and then we saw a whole ton of, you know, of the fallen crawling all over the place, and he lit up the lights, and he out this old rifle, right? So when we go up around this corner, we're gonna run across our first fallens. So let's just take 1 second.
Alright, so I think maybe we'll do this one. And we'll just use our wonderful little light over there. But we can, well, I don't even know if I'm going to use the light. I think I'm just going to turn the whole thing off, to be honest with you. My HD True Vision will compensate for any darkness, and I got some glow there in the back, so you guys probably can see me just fine. So we'll kill this, and then we'll get back to doing some Destiny here. So, all right, looks good. And I'll even sit this way that way you guys can see me just a little bit better. Let me change my screen view. All right, that's better. Did I forget to mute? Yeah, I did. All right, let me just mute for a few more minutes, and we'll listen to some music while we play. I'm just having to get used to doing it within the HMD. I've been playing on the flat screen for a while, so bear with me, and we'll get back to where I might have to check the sensitivity of the mic, of the controller. So, oh, by the way, I'm using an Xbox Elite controller. That's not connected to my HMD. It is connected directly to my Xbox S. And then I have Destiny 2, which I actually run on the PC. I'll be playing with the same controller. I'll just connect it to the PC. And then we'll be playing that through my Shadow PC, which is guaranteed to always be top-end hardware. So we'll be running everything at full. Pretty awesome. You guys should check out shadow-tech, I think .com is what it is on the web. It's amazingly cool. All right, let's get back in there and kill these guys. So bear with me, and thanks for sticking through this with me.
slight difference when you're playing on the HMD. You really have to get used to the feeling that you're right in the middle of it. So it's really cool, actually. I'm completely immersed and having a great time with it. But it's hard to, get used to it first. But once you get used to it, we're going to be screaming. So you guys have seen some of my other clips. This is just getting my feet wet and getting comfortable. So there she was again. So, this is, we're going to see a recurring theme there for sure. But, she keeps kind of showing up. So I know a little further in there's more to it, but I don't want to spoil it. I guess you can go back and look at some of our videos. Probably wouldn't be a spoiler. Again, I'm writing this on Vortex. One of the wonderful things about Vortex versus virtual desktop or big screen is that you literally can curve both vertically as well as horizontally. So it's really cool. Try to make sure that the HMD is comfortable. I bought an add-on pad for my Oculus Rift. It's a lot more comfortable. The thing I noticed about the foam one that comes with it is that it seems to catch, like if you have any animals, it catches all of their hair. So your nose is constantly getting tickled or whatnot. It looks like you're constantly scratching your nose. The wonderful thing about Vortex and WoW is it's literally a VR experience. It picks up on your head movements and everything, so you can turn your head left, right, etc. That'll move, and you don't have to hold your right mouse key like some of you that play WoW. I'm planning to do some, BFA Battle for Azeroth. I'm just starting to kind of get into it. I haven't played in a while, so it's pretty cool though. So first off, let's just turn and take a freaking look at that outstanding freaking look. Shut up. Sorry, we have kids that are still up there, supposed to be asleep. I'm gonna take a quick intermission, and I'm gonna go take care of that. And while I'm on intermission, I'll throw up some Destiny cutscenes.
Greetings, Guardians. My name is Bife here. So a lot of you are either new to Destiny and want to jump in at Destiny 2 for the first time, or alternatively, you've been playing the game for 3 years now and you know nothing about what's going on. It's time to fix that. This video is going to go over the entire story of Destiny leading up to Destiny 2. Now keep in mind, I'm going to include everything that I think is really important for newly minted players or someone who's just jumping back into the world again, so that you can all understand the base story and the world that Bungie has constructed. So don't expect me to jump into too many deep stories. For example, I'm not going to be exploring the Book of Sorrows or full achievements of the Iron Lords. I'm certainly not going to be talking about Dredgen Yor and Jaren Ward because their story is not too relevant to everything we do in-game. And I'm also going to be avoiding things about mysterious topics that we have clearly got so much left to discover, such as the Nine. Regardless, I have a few other things to say before we start. Firstly, note that whenever I go into the City Age portion of this video and all of the history of Destiny, things are going to get a little bit nondescript, and that's purely because we don't have a lot of timeline references for what happened when in the City Age. The way that I'm presenting this is going to be the most logical string of events, and hopefully it's something which is close to the most accurate version of events. Also, there are two people that deserve shoutouts for the help that they've given on this video. The first of which is Octavius, who has helped create a lot of the skeleton for this script, which is now about 17 pages long. He most certainly worked his heart out for this, and I know that he is someone who deserves praise as a result. And secondly, Xander, who is the one who has done a lot of the graphics work and doing cutouts of the various Guardians that are being represented throughout Destiny's timeline. Thanks and praise for both of those two in the comments section would be greatly appreciated. They have put a lot of work into this video just as I have. But without much further ado, let's begin. Starting with the modern day, and principally with an event that will change humanity forever. Imagine that tomorrow, when you all wake up, you turn on the morning news and all of a sudden you see that a mysterious object has appeared over Mars. This is the premise for the start of our modern timeline to Destiny. Something where all of a sudden humanity is presented with the notion that they are indeed not alone in the universe. And 14 months later, humanity has prepared its response. The globe has, for but a small period of time, united, and the astronauts of America, taikonauts of China, and cosmonauts of Russia have each chosen one of their best to take on this great honor and responsibility of the first manned mission to Mars, the mission that would live in history and would be known as Ares 1. These three would then take it upon themselves to explore the surface of Mars, to approach the unknown object, and to understand what had happened. Mars, of course, is a planet with little to no atmosphere, and yet when Ares 1, the craft, came down onto the Martian surface, it came down in the middle of a storm, the breath of God as the wind rattled off of their craft. This was no coincidence. As the three explorers left their craft and set their sights upon the alien object, they realized for the first time one of its functions. It was terraforming Mars. And so, together, an astronaut, a cosmonaut, and a taikonaut stood and bore witness to the first Martian rains, and set their eyes upon the traveler. This would begin what is known as humanity's Golden Age. a time of incredible accomplishment in which humanity has made so many wonders that have now been lost. Human lifespans, for starters, were tripled. Those that lived to 100 in our day would be seen as some of the most long-lived of our species, but in their times, 90 was considered to be young. 300-year-old humans finally existed. All fundamental hatreds and intolerances quickly vanished, and, in a similar sense, the peoples of many nations merged. Nations meaning so much less when the people themselves are united in a common understanding that was born from this simple idea that we were not bound for our petty grievances and poorly thought out wars, but instead, we were born to conquer the stars. Our culture became founded in reasoning, intellectualism, and science, supporting core principles of debate on all sides and on all topics. Centers were founded in the name of progress and reason. The Ishtar Academy on Venus, for example, or the city of Freehold in the dusty red sands of Mars. And then there were other great human marvels. The Baikonur Cosmodrome was set into a massive center of exploration and colonization, and the great metropolis cityscapes of Titan rose above the waves. Truly, these are some of humanity's greatest miracles. Our technology advanced tenfold as well. The Centers of Science and Reasoning in the Ishtar Academy on Venus discovered an ancient alien race and their ruins. These were the Vex, and they had existed for many millennia before we had. But even then, there were greater discoveries still made by Clovis Bray. The fourth state of matter, known as engram, was finally unveiled. This is a state in which data was free from the physical restraints of matter, and in which all sorts of ideas could be created and stored with the simplest of actions. But there were so many more inventions than simply these. Take the war mines, for example, which were the pinnacle of Golden Age technology. From their massive complexes of underground bunkers, they could go forth, bearing weapons capable of scorching the skies of 1,000 worlds black with dust and fire. With their vast artificial intelligence, they could draw up battle plans to counter and defeat the most ingenious of foes in but the blink of an eye, and with their armies of constructs and frames, they could shatter regimes and blunt offensives from entire legions, one at a time or all at once. These were some of humanity's greatest weapons in the Golden Age, our greatest defenders. But in addition to this, came yet more curious forms of life. The Ahamkara are one of particular note, but there are none as well known to us now as the Exos. These sentient machines appear to have been created by the Clovis Bray Corporation as well. It's speculated by some that these are humans who are able to transfer their consciousness into a mechanical body and thus, theoretically, live forever. Regardless, science by this point had advanced so much that the Exos were considered as valid members of society, just as anyone else would be. Though their programming also hints that their nature is a more violent one. They are built and programmed for a relentless war, some great battle long ago forgotten. This is remembered as every single one of them dreams of the Deep Stone Crypt, where they fight an army of thousands of those that they know. But finally, yet another of the inventions of the Clovis Bray Corporation would be once more something that would bear fruit during the Golden Age and its colonization efforts. The invention of a nanotechnology that could be programmed into anything imaginable. This was Siva. It could be simply directed with one's own will, and could do anything from creating habitation to rebreather suits. Such was the marvel of Siva as a technology that immediately it began to be used by Golden Age colonists looking to expand out into the stars. At this point, humanity's greatness shone like a beacon in the night, illuminating the stars and convincing us that our destiny was not to remain on Earth alone, falling prey to our petty squabbles from so many years ago, but was instead to ascend to greater heights. But as Icarus and Daedalus learned in the stories of old, pride can quickly turn to hubris, and so it was the way for us. Our Golden Age and its days of glory were numbered. From beyond the reaches of our solar system, the war mines detected something, a subtle set of signs, but they knew how to interpret their meaning. Something was approaching, something that spelled our doom. It was at this moment that the Exodus Project truly began, our great effort to save our people from near certain annihilation. millions of people were loaded onto colony ships bound for destinations beyond the reaches of the oncoming catastrophe. But in spite of our efforts, in spite of the work of all the war minds, in spite of the subminds like Malahayati, and in spite of General Chen Lanshu and her valiant efforts, it was too little, too late. As the thousands of vessels began to reach the outer edges of the asteroid belt, something terrible began to sweep through the solar system. The war minds raised their mighty weapons to respond with forceful blows that could shatter the stars, and yet even this could not stop the oncoming tide. This force swept through the space that we had known and conquered and decimated all that stood in its way. Those unfortunate enough to be on board the colony ships died in their stasis pods, and the debris from the destruction caused the creation of a vile wreath of dead ships and orbiting stations in the asteroid belt. The rubble from this terrifying event still remains to this day. In the chaos and struggle, the Warmind Rasputin, the first and greatest of the Warminds, the very defender of Earth itself, our home planet, the jewel of our stars, could comprehend the terrible power of this new threat. It was not simply the many alien races that had come and conquered our diverse territories. No, this was something more powerful, something that reached beyond the bounds of the physical universe, something that defied simple causality, something that could even bend the universe to its will, much like the Traveler could. This was our ultimate enemy, the one that we would come to know as the Darkness. This terrible miasma that would wind its way through every coiled path, choking and draining the life from all that it touched. But even here, Rasputin could sense yet another threat. The Traveler was on the move. Once more it was leaving the system, and without the Traveler, all of humanity was certainly doomed. What happened next is not clear. Records of this time are all but lost, our best source being the journals of KNIGHTZ 6. They speak of a terrible time of cataclysm, of how the darkness took hold of entire worlds and every living being on those worlds, taking each of them individually in its grasp, leaving them in agony but allowing them to maintain their clarity of vision. It wanted them to see this. It wanted them to see the engulfing of worlds around them, letting every last one of them, every lost life, echo undeniably with one bit of knowledge. Our worlds no longer belonged to us. They belonged to the darkness, and our destruction at its hands were for the sin of our strength not being great enough. Some speculate that what happened next was the actions of Rasputin, who might have attacked the Traveler in order to prevent its departure. Others state that the Traveler simply took pity upon us all and would have died regardless to save us. And some still state that the Traveler was not retreating at all, but merely trying to find the perfect patch of ground from which it might be able to battle the darkness. But what is clear is this: the darkness and the Traveler both battled above Earth in a contest of power that would shake the heavens and the very foundations of the universe. And what is more, the Traveler won. Crippled and broken but victorious, in those last moments of its dying breath, the Traveler created the Ghosts, small autonomous drones filled with its light. These ghosts would be the salvation of humanity by seeking out those amongst the long dead who would be capable of wielding the Traveler's light as a weapon. Something to fight back the darkness. Something that could save us. Whilst they would first be known as the Risen and would eventually be called Warlords or Iron Lords, these brave souls chosen to fight again within the Traveler's light would be known to us today by a single name. They would be known as the Guardians. On the fringes of the solar system, just as this was occurring, yet another new form of life was appearing. With their grey skin and the potent mixture of both light and darkness running through their veins, the Awoken began to first appear. But even on the horizon, there was yet more ill news. Strange and deadly alien forces that had arrived with the collapse were encroaching still on the territories of what remained of our Golden Age colonies. These four races would come to be known by the remaining peoples of Earth as the Fallen, Hive, Vex, and Cabal. And so, with humanity crippled, our golden age lost, and our system being overrun by hostile forces, the near-apocalyptic events that would come to be known as the Collapse came to a close, and the dark age of humanity began. At first, there were very few people who remained united. Some formed into small towns and banded together for safety, but many on Earth came to be ruled over by the warlords. These were some of the first risen, who instead of using their power for good, would come to use their powers for dominance. They ruled over Earth and would use their powers to control the vast tracts of its territory. In opposition to these forces, however, there were some that stood against the despair of autocracy that had been wrought, some who stood against the tyranny of the warlords and stated that hope should still be at the center of the human life. Everyone deserved a chance. Led by a man named Radagast, the first protectors of humanity would rise to defend us. They would be known as the Iron Lords, and whilst refugees and small towns cowered under the tyranny of the warlords, the Iron Lords came to their defense, liberating them and defending those who stood against tyranny. All the while, there were refugees still seeking a place to call home. Long, continuous columns of exo-survivors, humans cropping up from everywhere, the occasional awoken, traveling far from their reef-born home. Many traveled to below the traveler, to the spot of its final, climactic battle with the darkness. These refugees would organize into a massive camp, defended once more by those risen with the traveler's light, great men and women like Razel Azir. But as time went on, the dissolution of those within this camp of refugees turned into something more violent. Rudimentary factions began to rise, each with their own opinions on how we should lead humanity back to prosperity. From these differences, the first faction wars arose. Had it not been for those that stood and stopped the terrible violence, humanity might well have been snuffed out right then and there. But from the aftermath of this first faction war, the leaders of the city created a new system of governance. The factions would be forever tempered by each other's wills, as well as the newly created Vanguard, a council of 3 guardians, one of each discipline: Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. All proposals would be voted upon and would be sent to the Speaker, the Grand Leader of the city, and the ruler of the Guardian Orders. All of this had to go through him for approval. And so the passion of the factions was put in check, the authority of the Guardians was made clear, and the first ever consensus council of the city resolved to be better and greater than those that came before. And that resolve would soon be put to a test. For the next challenge would not come from within, but from without. The alien races that had arrived in force at the close of the collapse had taken root in both our outer colonies and in the vast
Okay, so we're back. So we're, kind of along the lines where we're at in our chronology. So let's go see what they have to say to us now. Actually, it just occurs to me I'm going to turn off my battery that way. I don't have to see it, and I can sit as close as I want to my screen. There we go. All right, so let's play on. All right, Xbox user beta. So you see me looking left and right. That's because my screen is so big it fills my whole entire vision. Huh. I toast your health, but I'm supposed to be all reputable now. Yeah, Cade, I don't think we believe you. Alright.
I guess you got a good story out of it.
Nice. That'll work. We'll take it. Let's go ahead and equip that real well. Let's do our upgrade first. So now we have grenades. That's pretty darn important. And do we get any weapon? No weapon. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So we got this new armor. Definitely better than what we're wearing. It doesn't look bad either, right? Dismantle that. No. Alright, so that's what we got right now. Cool. Alrighty. So we will now go back to Cade here. We have a little bit of money too. That requires level 4, but we might as well throw it in our bag, right? Because we're going to be level 4 before you know it. So let's just, let's buy that one. And let's buy that one. What? What is that? Oh, you can add ghost shells at level 40. That's pretty cool. We do have a free character upgrade, but no, I don't really want to use it. I want to play through the whole thing because, again, like I said, it's like instead of going to the amusement park, you watch it on YouTube. There's definitely a world of difference. Alright, so alright, complete the Shadow Thief strike. Old foes among the Devil Splicers, the Hive, and the Vex have returned. Guardian, the Vanguard would call upon you again. Alright, so we'll accept it. Horizon Rider Strike playlist. These bounties are available from Commander Zavala. Guardians call on to join and face challenges. Of course I will. Of course I'll do my duty. He said duty. I know, give us some butthead humor. No, good night. No, you're not. I have a light on, son. Hold on 1 second, guys. Alright, sorry, I still have one stubborn child up. Gonna make sure I wake him up extra early tomorrow. Alrighty, so let's continue on our journey. Alright, so I think we're done with them. Of course. So let's run over here and find out what weapon we're going to get. Love it, Xbox user beta, huh? Alright, so here's a weapon dealer. Now, you can play Destiny both, single player as well as multiplayer, so you can join parties. It's truly an MMO. So let's see. Are we gonna go with the pistol? Doesn't have a far range, has a big impact. We can go with the scout rifle, which I kind of like, because look, I mean, everything's good. We have a decent range. We have a really fast rate of fire with the pulse rifle. No, go to bed. We have a fast rate of fire on the auto rifle. Not a really big impact, not a real good range. Stability. So I think overall, it's really the scout rifle that we need to do. So that's the one we're picking up. Let's see. Sorry, normally my kids are in bed by this time, so I just have to mute, and I apologize for interrupting my stream. I'm going to put back on the thing for a minute and put my kid to bed. You're going to your room.
Territories on Earth, from the Mumbai Push to the European Dead Zone, from the swamps of old Chicago to the abandoned Cosmodrome at Baikonur. With this, the city had to face against incursions by one particularly craven alien race, known as the Fallen. Previously, they had been known as Elixni, but these bipedal aliens had changed ever since they had been uplifted by the Traveler. It had left them too, and this had turned them from a once noble race into a race of spider-like pirates, scavengers, forever hunting the Traveler, or the Great Machine, as they called it in their time. They sought to return it to their fold, so that their species might hopefully enjoy the bounties of a second Golden Age as a result. But this would not be accomplished without bloodshed. And so what started as a small band of raiding parties taking on a small settlement evolved into a perpetual siege that would define the very existence of those that lived within the walls of this small city. And so, in response, the Titans of the city devised a plan. They built a great series of walls to encompass the city and keep those that they protected safe from harm. And so the walls were built, the city grew, and those within this final bastion found some small vestige of harmony. This is not to say that the city was the only place in which humans dwelled. Many towns within the wilds of Earth, such as the fabled settlement of Palamon, still stood, providing shelter and respite for those outside of the city. But such small towns, whilst occasionally raided by the Fallen, were but petty distractions. The true prize for the Fallen was the Great Machine itself, that rested in the sky above this last safe city, this well-defended bastion. And so, day by day, they sat in envy of humanity, until that envy became too great to contain. The House of Devils, located primarily within the abandoned territories of Europe, Russia, and Asia Minor, marched upon the city in force, bringing the full might of their house to bear. This was a true test of the city's new defenses, which had only recently been erected, but the Titan orders of the city were prepared. 4 orders of Titans came together, and with coordination and steel, held a defense that covered the 6 approaches of the city. The Fallen's artillery roared, and their legions of soldiers howled 1,000 curses at the battle lines of the city. But by the time the dust had settled, the Devils were forced to retreat en masse, and not a single one of these 6 fronts had broken. This was the first true trial of the city and its defenders, and from this day forth would be known as the Battle of the 6 Fronts. It would forevermore be remembered as a symbol that marks Titan iconography to this day, and would also give rise to some of the most legendary guardians the city has ever known. But most importantly of all, this marked the beginning of a new age, an age where humanity could find newly restored hope under the Traveler's shadow. This would be known as the City Age, the time where we started to fight back. In the aftermath of the Battle of the Six Fronts, one of the most notorious defenders of the city was a warlock who was said from eyewitness reports to have appeared as if he was fighting in multiple places all at once. The name of this powerful warlock was Osiris, and so great was his power that many of the other heroes of the city began to rally around him, most notably the honored exo-titan known as Saint 14. He called upon the speaker to appoint Osiris to the vanguard as its warlock mentor. Such was the speaker's relationship to Saint 14 that the two took to each other's words with great care. They even referred to each other as father and son. And so Saint 14, joining the chorus of supporting voices, convinced the speaker to appoint Osiris to the warlock vanguard position, to join them, going even as far as to take him as his own apprentice, to teach him what he knew, so that one day perhaps he might become the new speaker for the traveler. However, there was one dissenting voice amongst the cheerful applause when this decision was made. Lysander of the Concordat, a faction that had grown in the infancy of the city, stated that Osiris was a mistake, that he had been misincarnated, a faulty resurrection by a damaged ghost perhaps, or maybe simply someone who wasn't supposed to be a guardian. His claims were quickly dismissed, and the consensus continued its work, with Osiris now as one of the most senior members of its council. Meanwhile, as some new legends rose, others were sadly doomed to fall. The Iron Lords had grown considerably in their strength and had conquered the warlords entirely from their fortress temple at Vostok Observatory. From above, they watched over the vast lands of our forefathers and kept a steady vigil, defending the city and the rest of humanity from afar. But as their ranks swelled to hundreds and the fires of the Iron Temple grew stronger, their leader, Radagast, was filled with discontent. Him and many of the other Iron Lords sought a way to rekindle the Golden Age that they had lost. Lord Timur believed that he had discovered it, in the form of a Golden Age technology left behind by Clovis Bray, namely, Siva. The nanotechnology that could not only aid in the colonization efforts so far out in the far-flung colonial worlds, but could also reconstruct the marvels of humanity's golden age here at home, returning us to our place amongst the stars. But Radagast, who held so firmly to his belief that the technology of the past was the key to our future, was blinded to the true danger that Siva presented. More than 100 Iron Lords marched into the Cosmodrome to reclaim Siva, but Rasputin, who still maintained control of the nanotechnology, gave a directive to the billions of nanites that would spell doom for the Iron Lords. The directive was simple, 3 words initiated upon finishing a conversation he'd had with the Iron Lord Exo Warlock, Fellwinter. These 3 words: replicate, eliminate, immunize. And with that, Siva was unleashed upon the Iron Lords within the northeastern sector of the Cosmodrome, breaking them and consuming them all, one at a time. Only 9 Iron Lords managed to reach the replication chamber that was the source of all the Siva. In the end, Lady Yolda set off an explosion and sealed the doors of this chamber, thus preventing more Siva from escaping out onto the surface. By the end of the battle, the Iron Lords were crippled. Only 2 Iron Lords remained. The hunter, Lady Ephrodite, who quickly fled and abandoned her warlike ways for a path of peace, and Lord Saladin, who would be the lone sentinel to stand over the Iron Temple and watch its braziers dim once more. All the while, more threats were marshalling, and the city once again would have to face these terrible threats. Without the Iron Lords defending the territories of Earth or pushing back the fallen houses further, the city became vulnerable once more. And so, the Fallen once again began to create a great plan to reclaim the Traveler. However, in the light of the Devil's failure at the Battle of the Six Fronts, it was clear that no single house could conquer the city. And so, 4 fallen houses united to attack the city in unison. The houses of devils, kings, winter, and wolves united their forces into one of the greatest armadas that the system of Sol had ever borne witness to, and they began their march to Earth, so that eventually, even after a long bloody battle, they might finally stand atop the corpses of those humans that had defied them previously, and together reclaim the Great Machine. The might of these 4 houses combined would have been crushing to the city, particularly with the House of Wolves, who maintained a mighty fleet and a vast army of over 1 million fallen soldiers. And so, the Fallen descended upon the city, and the greatest battle that we had ever seen within the city's walls ensued. The defense of the city was to be taken up by 3 guardians. Lord Saladin, the former Iron Lord, would coordinate the defenses with his 2 protégés, Commander Zavala and Lord Shax. They would each take command of considerable forces within the city's walls, and all 3 were vital to the defense. Once again, the Guardians took to the walls, which were now heavily defended with salvaged weapon emplacements and thousands upon thousands of combat frames. Warlocks worked in concert, using great waves of void and solar light to drown the oncoming waves of fallen aggressors. The Titans manned the walls of the city with zeal and fortitude like they had done before, and the golden guns of the gunslingers rang out in song to answer the onslaught. But in spite of it all, the efforts of our great defenders weren't quite enough. The Fallen made significant advances, and eventually tore a hole in our defenses at Twilight Gap. With but a single breach in the walls and the city's defenses, our defenders could all in time be outflanked, and every last one of them could be brought to their knees. Whilst Lord Saladin ordered a tactical retreat, Lord Shax took action. He disobeyed this order and took all of the combat frames under his command, sending them to flood the breach, plugging the hole. He himself was found at the heart of this battle, along with the Guardians under his command, holding the line in spite of the lack of fortification, holding against almost all odds. The magnitude of this decision should not be understated. The frames and forces that Lord Shax had committed to the breach were vital parts of the defense force of the city. If his gambit failed, the city was doomed. There would not be enough forces to hold on the waves as all others retreated to the secondary lines of defense. But luckily for us, the gambit worked. The breach was plugged, and Lord Shax stood victorious with his frames atop a mountain of fallen corpses. The battle was won, and the city lived to see another day. The House of Devils, Kings, and Winter lay defeated. But what of the House of Wolves and their millions of soldiers? They had been noticeably absent from the Battle of the Twilight Gap, and this was no accident. Despite the bravery of Lord Shax and his forces that day, the city's true savior lay far out in the vacuum of space. Within the territories of the Reef, an awoken monarchy had begun to grow in power. This was the Vestian dynasty, and from their fold many noble names and houses rose, with an entire society at their heels. This was absolutely departed from the city. The Awoken as a society were matriarchal, fiercely territorial, a spacefaring people with an isolationist streak that demanded that they should live without revealing their presence to others. But before the Battle of the Twilight Gap, the 6th monarch of the Vestian dynasty, the 6th ruler on the throne beneath the Howling Dark, Mara Sov, Queen of the Awoken, was gifted with a choice. The House of Wolves had positioned their fleet at the asteroid of Ceres, and were poised to move further into the core worlds to strike at Earth when they had refueled from the asteroid's bounty. The Wolves had breached Awoken space and had violated their territorial borders in doing so, leaving Mara Sov with 2 choices. She could simply let the Wolves pass, letting their violation of Awoken space go unanswered, and thus dooming the city. Or alternatively, she could engage the Wolves at her door, showing them that the Awoken of the Reef were not a force to be trifled with. 2 choices, one of peace potentially, and the other of certain war. A choice that would affect millions across the solar system.
Okay, sorry about that. Took about 8 minutes to remember where it was. Gotta make sure those kiddos get up earlier in the morning so that I don't have to worry about them interrupting during stream time. I'm trying to set my schedule for times that they're to bed, but today 5 of them took slept in quite a bit, and I knew it was going to backfire. For those of you that have kids, know exactly what I'm talking about. So, all right, let's get on with the game. All right. So we were just choosing our weapon. So, we already chose our weapon. So we went with the scout rifle because it has the better range. It doesn't have the same rate of fire, but it has it's a little more, even along the spectrum, right? Obviously, our sniper rifle is going to have the best range. Look at that. See, I mean, impact is like minimal on that gun. I mean, at least the auto rifle, it's something. I mean, you got quick reload, quick rate of fire. And the impact on the pistol is huge, but look at it, the minimal range, really. And the reload seems to be a little less. Yeah, I think overall we just made the right choice going with the scout rifle. So, goodbye, so long. All right, so let's equip our new weapon, and let's dismantle this one. We no longer need it. All right, that's a little bit better, right? So we've got our sniper rifle, which God, I mean, replace that for sure. It's really not all that good. So our next fight's going to be with our armor. There's just no fancy words about it. So let's go back and just check where we're at. So we retrieved our ship. Shadow Thief reloaded. Alright, so all in all, I think we're going to end up. What is this one? Okay, record and celebrate your victories against the darkness as you build your legend. Alright, let's do it. So as this see, complete milestones to rank up the record, but completion is not required to claim all rewards. Alright, so it looks like we have some stuff that we possibly could pick up and we can get some emblems to use. So we're here, and we're trying to get here. Alright, sounds good. So that's what I need with, my name being VRKNIGHTZ. Those pretty cool coat of arms. Let's see. Alright, so we've got a lot to do. It really looks like our story hasn't really started. There we go. Excuse me. So we're working towards it. Is a force multiplier of war against the darkness. So here's our hunter's way. Oh, here's the thing, the warlock. Oh, I don't know how that helps us, but we'll take it. I guess I'll have to go look at it on my other character. I think so. Regardless, 13 pages to this book. I am enjoying the warlock. I will not lie. The warlock's probably my favorite character. Titan and the Hunter are cool too, though. I mean, I think all of them are cool, honestly. I don't know how you play the game and not, play it with all of them. So let's go over here. Let's check out this book too. I mean, we might as well pick this on all of them, right? So this is going to be when we get to the Rise of Iron. How many pages are in this book? 3. Yeah, so we don't have anything in this. Because I think this is going to go to our next. Yeah, so this is going to go to our extended DLCs. So we just missed that. And the book that I think we're on right here is this one. And so this says Rise of Iron. Okay. We'll get here. An arm package. When we get to the second rank of this. No, so it looks like it's right up. 3. So, year 3. Alright. Option snaps next one power, yeah. On the side of your screen, select. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Where do we take these? This could prove useful. Really gotta like figure out some of this stuff. Alright. I probably could like figure it out, right? Oh, this is the thing to buy. I'm not buying any silver, sorry, Xbox. Oh, what the heck happened here?
Oh yes, nice bit of prison architect.
Well, we already got this one free.
Not too many guards around here. I reckon these
So, anyways. Alright, so I think we're on our way to do our next set of missions, right? Unless there's anything. Oh, I see something. Huh, pretty cool. Yep, alright, so back to the docks. They're going to tell us we don't have a warp drive, jump drive. Oh, let's get with the program. Alright, so what's up here?
Looking for a new ship this morning?
Yes, I am. Alright, so they want us to go talk to, what's his name again? Oh, excuse me, guys. Wow. Wonder if you can slide upstairs. Maybe. We stop right into walls. I guess I should pay attention. Oh, back. Alright. You start again. It's like, you know, you get one right after the other there.
Still have the dust on.
Alright, we saw some. Oh, that's my upgrade if I want to take it. So I could skip this whole thing, jump to level 25, but miss the whole story. You know, I mean, it's kind of a up to me thing. Alright, let's get out of here. So next we have to kill that Archon. Yeah, I'm curious what immersive mode does. If I put it in immersive mode. Hold on 1 second. Just some curiosity. I know curiosity killed the cat. Right? Okay, full VR mode just sticks into our face. Because it's not really a VR game. And full immersive mode really doesn't give us anything. Because it's, you know, not a true 3D game. So, alright, so we're just gonna have to go back this way. There we go. Let me check out the alright, anything else I want to do? Alright, let's do this thing. Cancel.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can hear the way you talk. I need your permission to help.
Hold on a second, please. Alright, there we go. Much better. So it says we have an upgrade. Yeah, we gained a level again already. And what do we get here? Ah, yeah, we get our double jump, which is great. Gunslinger. Maybe I should have taken the pistol. Wonder what other choices I get there. Oh yeah, that's where I'm gonna end up, because I'll just keep using my blade quite a bit. Alright, so let's see where we're at. Old Russia. And like I said, we're back to the divide. Yeah, let's go do this thing. It's funny we use the word pancake gaming. I mean, it doesn't really matter for the person watching the Twitch stream unless you put on the HMD and you're watching it on a big screen. Otherwise, you're watching pancake gaming no matter what you do. I mean, I could put the Oculus Mirror up, but I don't think you see the curve. I think you would just see basically that I'm seeing this. I don't know. Maybe we'll mess around with that at the next intermission.
A Guardian ship was recently shut down here. If the Fallen haven't gotten to it, there might be parts we can salvage.
Alright, so we basically have to go back to our last position. But we're going to have to fight through, of course, because there's always going to be some new threat stopping us from getting there. Yes, yes, I know. Alright, so our goal is over there still, so we kind of knew that. We're going to go check out this ship, and when we do, there's going to be some over there, so we're going to kind of try to Ah, shit, too late. Oh no. That took out a couple of our guys, right? We got a vandal left. Ah. And where there's a vandal, there's always a dread.
The ship's avionics are completely catatonic, but I can't code their last transmission. They managed to restore an information hub here, down in the tunnels below. We should check it out.
I'm going to be doing the Connect stuff with the Live software here pretty soon, so even without a green screen, I'll be able to just blink out my background. But, you know, to be honest with you, does it bother you all that much? I mean, you'll have to let me know. I'm curious. I'm curious more than anything if it's going to bother, if it bothers you that you see in the background. I mean, the house is clean, so I'm curious whether you see it. I mean, whether you care whether you see it. Alright, so we're going back this way. Okay, so we gotta really watch out. This place is usually crawling with them, so if we were scouting, this would be a point to get a scout mission. That would come later. There's gonna be more fallen. We just kind of have to look up over here. So it's the fallen, the hive, the vex. Is there another race? I wonder. And there's some spin now. Look at that. I hear them. I haven't determined what they're for yet, but if I can collect them, I'm sure they're for something. Alright, so we saw him. He's hiding in that block. Noses. Let's just look at where else others may be. We really have to go that way. We really don't need to go over here and shoot this guy. Or the rest of the guys that are going to be with him. Because they're all over there. What the heck, right? What fun would it be if we didn't have fun with it? I know we saw his ass. Oh, we didn't see his ass. That'd be weird. There he is. Let's see. Does he know where it came from? That's the real question, right? Alright, well, crap. So we're gonna drop a bunch more now that I started shooting people, I guess. And they're all looking to kill me, obviously. Who are they shooting at? Or is that somebody else that's around shooting too? Oh, he probably has a scout mission to do. Oh yeah, there he is. Nothing to worry about, son. I already took care of most of them. Nothing new here. So he's doing a scout mission at this point, which is kind of the stuff we're doing with with our, well, with my hunter and my titan. You know, my hunter and titan, my warlock and my titan. Right now, I need to go get my jump trap. I think that's the only thing that's really important to get these funky monkeys there. See, there's another fallen ship. Which means they just dropped a bunch of fallen over there. We spent a lot of time in the Cosmodrome, I've noticed. Alright, let's back off. Let's go figure out let's go where we're supposed to go. Great, always nice. You know they're in there. What did I get? Really? They come. Looks like there's lots of folks out there though. It doesn't look like I really need to do shit, but what the heck, let's do something. I have my bottom paddles on, so I keep hitting them. Still getting used to using them. They're a lot faster, but they, when you're not used to something, you know, it's always something different. What is that? That is a loot crate. Alright, that's worth figuring out how to get to, right? Ah! There's a way. I don't know if I can get there. Just so close. No, can't get there yet. So I was jumping off of something. Ah, damn it! More falling over there. Fuck it, run into battle, that's what I say. Alright, we're gonna back off a little bit. Told you to become a blade dancer. If I remember something, there's really something bad down there. Yeah, I'm actually trying to pick up the extra experience points before I go in. It's a cool ass jump. It makes me want to boost somebody. At the same time, though, I would lose so much of the storyline, which would suck. Alright, let's go back this way. Nothing for us here. Oh, here we go. No, somebody already got those guys. Maybe not. Ah, good. I am getting that drug. Alright, so we've gotten a lot better with our, like I said, where there's fucking vandals, there's always dregs. And where there's dregs, there's always vandals. Where the fuck is he? Whoa, you bitch. Oh, here comes another. Fuck it, let's go have fun. Ooh. Oh. Just take him down. It's really nothing. There's gonna be a drag here though, I know there is. Here. Oh, bitch, where are you though? Okay. So you're right, there you are. Ah, damn you. Alright, let's get out of here before another ship comes and fucking tries to shoot our head off. Pretty sure we're supposed to go in here. So let's do it. Whoa. Maybe I'm too close to the screen. You know, it's huge. I might just be too close to it. Ah, crap. Drop. Hold on, I gotta record it all. Go. Usually when I play a rapid around this way, it's not a problem. Alright, so let's go find our problem, right? What's going on with him? Is he dead? Or is he talking? Alright, well anyways. Alright, so I know that they're no, they're not on the thing yet. Pretty sure they're in this room. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Oh, there's a couple people that died. Oh, I love where we're not ready to upgrade yet. How far are we? Alright, let's go kill that Archon. Might as well, right? Let's be honest. Alright. Actually, no. Use this, and I'm gonna save that freaking fragment. He's here. I heard that. God damn it. I'm done with your shit. You guys, you're the last I have to kill before I get to deal with the Archon. Alright, here comes the Archon. Nobody's coming. How come the fuck on? Down here. What? It's filling me up. In the wrong place? Is this telling me I'm not in the right spot for my mission? I thought for sure this is where I was supposed to be. Guess not. Oh, cool, I didn't notice that last time. Alright. I guess it's not where I was supposed to be after all. So, let's go kill some more bad guys. Gotta be there. I hear the fuckers. There they are. But where there's drugs, there's always vandals. So they're coming. Maybe not. Maybe somebody else killed them. I love all the details. I don't know if I've said that already, but I really do. It's just a great game overall. And while I know that Destiny's a little old, but the storyline is badass. And now that we're doing Destiny 2, it's kind of cool to get that storyline in place. Well, it's cool to play through it. I know I've used the amusement park analogy now several times, but it's really true, right? I mean, how fun would it be to watch Disneyland versus going to Disneyland? I don't know why I thought that's where it was. I think I'd go there at another point and get confused. That's where. They've got to be here. Where the hell are they? That's badass. With the space shuttles are cool. Now why didn't I take one of those? Damn it. Alright, yeah, those fuckers, they're over here. So let's just go and blow them up. Oh, there you are. Oh, fuck you. I don't know how it is I get up close there. Of course, when I'm pancake gaming, as they call it, I have no problem seeing them, right? It's because now I'm in my vision. I think those are things that you use to, oh shit. I heard it. Probably an awakened ship coming. Awakened. Falling. Yep, there it was. Alright, our mission's over here though. So, alright, I'm going to take a quick break. Oh, I need some more special ammo for sure. I need some more ammo for you. Alright.
You see that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that right now, sorry. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I guess it doesn't matter what we should do from. So let's do it from this one. These are not what I was watching. Where's my stuff at? We were just watching it. How did it go? Probably because all my kids are logging the same thing. That might be funny. I don't know if any of you play Smite. I really enjoy it. Here, I'll let you guys see what the 20 top Oculus Go games are, according to Mike. And Mike's a pretty great guy. Mike Cassell, he's in our group. He's pretty awesome. So, let's just take a look at what he's got there. It's 4 months ago, though. They don't want something 4 months ago. Wow, 18 million subscribers. I want to have 18 million subscribers. Don't we all, right? My wife's watching Top Model. Let's see. Alright, anyways, let's go up here. You know my stuff is here. Let me go to history. All kinds of stuff that I am not watching. How funny. The kids are watching Minecraft. Yeah, I wonder who watched that. Maybe it was my wife. Her and I are going to be playing this stuff, so, you know, pretty cool stuff. Come on, bring me my thing. There's Cade. I thought you'd be killing me. Let's watch this one. Alright, be right back, guys.
No, not yet. Maybe tomorrow. Give it 20 minutes. Someone will invent it. Hey man,
Well, if it were real, if you actually kind of like try to pull it up instead of it just flying like it's made of paper.
yeah.
That's what I meant by adding a little bit of simulation.
Kill the money.
Okay, seriously, I will not ask you again. Listen, drive closer, and when I say scan, you will scan it.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you. Scan it. Scan it.
Scanning.
Mate, you're lucky I can't get out of my fucking seat. Do you hear me, you cunt? I'd fucking bop you. Do you understand? Boys, you see this fist? Boys, look at me. Look at me. I'll fucking...
Where does it go?
Fucking
Where does
right
it go?
your fucking arse, mate. Like that. Fucking like that.
I hate hell.
What kind of orphanage has VR? That's a high-class orphanage, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of high class, and the reason it's high class is because there's no niggers there, you know?
Oh, dude, get the fuck. How do I get out of this, dude? Get the fuck
What?
away. Dude, get the fuck away from me, dude.
Where'd you go?
Dude, go fuck yourself. Get me out of here.
No.
No,
Chicken.
no,
KFC,
dude,
KFC,
shut
KFC,
up.
nigger.
Oh, no. I was just playing, bro. This is like, fuck. Do I even have bullets? No. Okay, I'm bailing. Run. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any bullets.
Oh no, I'm stuck again.
I have more, right?
Let's do this.
I have another clip. Yes, it's spinning around. Give me my fucking clip. Don't be asking. Oh, there we go.
You can't kill yourself
Oh
anymore.
my god.
Oh my god.
No!
The vessel's communications to pull recent logs, so do a thing.
Already done.
Man, good.
You alright over there?
Enjoy yourself?
I don't think that's how it works. I'm not an engineer. I don't think that's how that works.
I went to school. You shut up.
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Trust me.
When does the plasma shoot out?
It's the lubricant. It does it when it. Alright. You gotta let it rest. More comes out if you let it rest.
The trophy for the Madiga.
What did you just call me?
Fellow, I think.
Come here. I need to have a fucking word with you, mate. Ever fucking say stuff like that against me? Do you understand me?
What?
You understand me?
What?
You fucking heard me, mate. Fucking heard
You
me.
what?
Take your fucking eye out, you cunt.
Hey, what kind of language is that? I joined that conversation at the wrong moment.
Yeah, you did.
There you go.
There you go.
Target destroyed.
Good shooting, Doug.
Good job, Captain. Thank you.
I mean, he could have just like pushed the button and
Listen, engineering. God damn it! Everyone has a job here, okay?
Don't do this to me.
I mean, it's like, good job pushing a button.
An asteroid route. Fucking, he does get close, doesn't he?
Isn't it round?
Isn't it round?
Jesus, you're the communicate. Oh! Who's this asshole talking to you?
I'm gonna have to cancel drinks tonight because I've got other plans.
We got a bitch.
This right here is gonna be a study on male behavior.
Uh-huh.
This right here, what's going on?
Let's give him the stereo. Let's give him the stereotypical then. Hey there, woo! Give me the buttocks. Give me the buttocks. All right, there we go. Now I'm persecuted in social media. Let's do this.
There you go. This. You're done. Article 15.
This guy.
Article 15.
He's fucking
Article 15.
fucking done.
Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on?
Admiral.
I don't care! Your file is not here!
You're fucking done!
Your file is not here!
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, let's just dump this fucking shit. We're gonna die here.
You know what? Alright, you know, I'm gonna bring you to that sun. Captain, I'm gonna fucking murder you and I'm gonna put us right in that sun. I'm gonna put us right in that sun.
No way.
Dad, yeah, you're not gonna believe what this fucking guy's doing.
Somebody cut him off.
Yeah.
Cut the comms off. Cut the comms off.
He keeps
Cut
screaming.
it off.
He knows the captain knows.
Hey, engineer! Turn it off! Turn it off, engineer! Engineer, I'm telling you, cut those comms! Cut those comms! You're gonna cut those comms!
Okay. You're gonna take care. Okay, thanks, Dad. Tell Mom to make sure.
You can't wink in this game, but if you could, I would wink.
Okay, you can start a romance here, engineering, but you know, this is gonna be a warp speed at romance.
Captain, my hand is stuck in my crotch. It's vibrating very quickly. What do I do, Captain?
You know what? Whoa. Okay, I honestly, guys, I think we're fucked here.
I think we might be.
Like, I'm gonna press a bunch of buttons.
Captain, my hand is
I pressed every button.
Oh, yo, I messed up, dog, really bad.
Wait, what is it? Pick nearest height for correct. Don't look at this, boys. Yeah, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna, hold on, boys. I'm going to, I'm gonna switch screens real quick, boys. No reason,
Yo, don't worry about it, dog. 1 second, I got you.
Fuck me in my asshole and cheddar!
Waluigi, will you nut my mouth?
Yep.
You're ready now.
I'm
Okay.
totally ready.
All right, we're ready. Now, don't ruin this game for me. Okay.
Fuck you.
I need.
Louder. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You're making fans, man. I don't even wanna go on. Okay.
I wanna. Hi. I'm gonna be the driver.
Oh god. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Oh shit.
Alright.
So weird. Yeah.
Hello, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey, what are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey, are you giving each other a high five? High five.
Oh yeah.
High five. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is sexual as fuck, baby. I'm gonna fuck you good tonight. I'm glad to use my hand.
Old enough to pee, old enough for me.
What was that? Fucking tongue in your mouth.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You got no legs, baby. I can eat you out good.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
14.
Very old. I'm 46.
I'm 20.
You're what? You're 20? I've always wanted
I'm
a younger
20.
girl. I've always wanted a younger girl.
24. 24.
Wanna fuck me tonight?
Too old to be acting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you good. Where'd you go? I'm gonna fuck you good.
We need to find some smuggled wildlife. Alice, do you want to scan that?
I'm already scanning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Think it was closer.
Black. Black. Ty Keisha. Black.
What was that? Jack, did you feel that?
Yes, I did.
What the hell?
A baby bird. What the fuck?
Move, nigga.
No? Yes? No?
Hey, anonymous.
Think so?
Think so? Don't know so.
Now that he can't run.
Leave that here.
Kilo. Give me one reason not to. Oh.
Welcome to war, kid. We got lots of time to teach you the ropes.
I'm in range.
Fire! Fire!
No, we need to save them.
Oh, sorry.
Operation.
Each one we disrupt might buy us a little more time to operate.
I will update the chart.
If you could not pantomime masturbating and then throwing the semen onto me, I would appreciate that. Disgusting.
Oh my god.
What you doing back here?
I'm trying to load my gun.
Your weapon?
I don't know.
Hey, you.
Cat?
You. Me? I'll be right back.
Cannot hear you.
I'll be right back.
You want us to jump into the pen?
Are you making a heart?
Are you making a heart?
No. All right.
Okay.
They can't hear me, but I'm gonna remind this.
Two people.
I'm me.
You. One person. You. Got it. You. One person. Second thing.
I'm gonna go.
You're James
Go.
Bond going around the corner.
I'm gonna go.
James Bond. You've got to go.
No.
Shit.
I'm gonna
You.
go. Go.
You go upstairs. Oh, he's got to relog. Just send me an invite.
Yeah.
Got you.
It's on the ground, now!
Oh wait, right track. Okay. Pump the shotgun. This is like. Oh God! Hold on! Don't shoot me! Friendly.
What's it mean?
A very small donkey.
Actually, don't know. I can't remember. Do you know?
He's Googling it. He's Googling it right now.
You're fucking Google it.
Answer right here.
Constant motion.
Like,
as you tell me.
My other flag up right now.
I'll inspect the ice pellets.
What the fuck? No.
Get it out of there. Get it out. It clean through.
Maintenance units shouldn't be entering the line.
Come on.
I'm a vulnerable little girl. I'm 12 years old. I need some assistance. It appears I've lost my mother when I was in the Barbie section of the toy aisle of the department store. Could you please help me? I would be so grateful if you did. Oh, what's that? My mommy is in the men's restroom? Well, I'm stupid as hell, so I guess I'll follow.
And we're back. So, hope you enjoyed those funniest Twitch moments. Some of that stuff is pretty darn funny. Let's see. Also play Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, and of course World of Warcraft. As I mentioned to you guys before, I have a Shadow PC. So if I'm not playing, VR, Destiny, any of my computer games that I want to play, I play up here on my Shadow PC. It has maximum, video card as well as top processor, great RAM, all hosted in the cloud just for a monthly amount. And they actually will pay. They won't pay. Well, they will pay. They pay for all the upgrades. So you just pay a monthly amount. You always have the latest, greatest machine. That's a great deal. So, it used to be way bigger. I lost like 84 pounds. from streaming. Alright. We got the whole H&B here. It's looking good. Yeah. Color swab down there. Gotta look old in that picture. Also shows that I don't actually have black hair, huh? Alright, so let's see. So, playing a little bit of Jade Empire, playing a little bit of Crisis, of course Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. So, World of Warcraft is always one of my top games. Really enjoy it. I haven't played as much as I normally do lately. Been really busy, and yeah, I know BFA just released, but I just haven't had a chance to really jump in and play. Like I said, I have the Destiny 2 stuff, so that's there. And but we're gonna wait. Sorry, we're gonna wait. I want to see. I want to be able to do, you know, all the different stuff in Destiny 1 before I do Destiny 2. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there really quickly, especially when I'm streaming 5 days a week. So the schedule should be a little more accurate. I'm going to update it just for some times to make sure that we account for when the kids go to bed and things like that. I will do a stream during the day as well. So there should be some pre-recorded videos simulcasting to multiple channels. So please feel free to catch me on Twitch, Smashcast, YouTube, and Mixer. You can soon you'll also be able to catch me on Facebook Live. So, anyways, so there's that. Just real quick, we'll look at a couple of my characters. I was playing a little bit earlier. I probably should have streamed, but I didn't really have any reading time. I do need to jump in some dungeons though and get some experience playing some of the characters. So as you can see, I've been playing a while. Most of these are actually not bot characters. Like this guy's bot, and this guy's bot, and then the rest of them are, you know, ones I've played up to this point. Haven't had a chance to really jump in on all of them. You kind of have to kind of focus on one. This is my original character. In fact, I don't know why he's under there. Anyways, this is my original character that I started way back at the launch of WoW, believe it or not, 13 years ago. So, pretty cool. Anyways, it doesn't really have much bearing on what we're doing right now, because right now we're playing some Destiny. So, pop back over here. Fill this up in window mode. Anyways, check out Shadow PC. Use the code down below if you're on my Twitch channel. You'll see the code down below to save you $10 and save me $10. So, you know, win-win. We're all happy, right? Alright, here we go. The Shadow Control Panel. I'm going to set it off in windowed mode and we'll go back over here. Alright. This time I was going long enough for my thing to go away. So give me just 2 secs while I vape, and if kids are at home, don't vape. I'm not vaping anything other than nicotine, so. Might make my casting a bit more interesting though, right? Elon Musk on the Joe Rogan podcast, smoking pot. I mean, come on, whiskey. You know, they say today that the stock dropped 9% of like $4.3 billion off of Tesla's books. You know, and everyone thinks, Elon is going to be, Elon's going to be affected by that. Are you kidding me? He's got so much money already stashed away. He could care less. He doesn't care. It's really not a big deal to him. God, I hate playing on the flat screen. I mean, I don't hate it. It's not bad. It's just, no, I kind of hate it. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm actually looking over here at my bigger screen. And while I wait for just a second, I'm going to bring up my NDI receiver so that hopefully not 32 inches. That doesn't seem like a huge delay. There's a QR code there. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay. Not a huge delay though. Well, I don't think there's any delay actually now. I think it's synced up. I'm live, yeah.
Are people going to see me if I walk out?
Well, not at the moment they won't. Sorry guys, my wife's walking in the kitchen in her pajamas. Oh, I was just vaping before I got on my HMD. It's going to take me longer to be off. I'm not putting back on my helmet though, so I'm done with that. Alright guys, sorry to just be a couple minutes. Like I said, I was gonna vape for a second before I threw back on the HMD. I apologize for the delay. Probably a very unprofessional stream there. That's alright. It's not really meant to be professional. It's just meant to be fun.
Everybody has wives.
Yes, everyone has wives. Yep.
Both.
I don't know about that. God, it's like night and day playing on this little tiny screen when I've been playing on my HMD, I swear to God. It's freaking night and day. On my HMD, I'm playing on a 30-foot screen. On my flat screens, you know, my maximum size here is 32 inch. What's that? I'm not gonna cover my hole. That doesn't sound right, does it, guys? Yes, honey, I will cover my hole. I should always cover my hole. I mean, people would get a little unnerved if I didn't. I love you. Yep, but we have to stick to schedule. I love you, hon. Alright, so I'm going to jump back on my HMD here in a minute. I'll go back over and kill that thing, but let's see. You know, there's always a drag. Well, I forgot I was going to have to restart this whole thing, so we have to come over here anyways. Alright. Let's throw this back on. Actually, you guys have to excuse me for 1 minute while I go tuck my wife in. All right after this. So as I promised, I don't really censor anything, troubleshooting, or whatever it is. I'm just going to do it right along with you guys. So if we have a problem in stream, we'll fix it together and we'll go from there. Alright, so I want to go find a place I'm going to be semi-safe. So there's these little caves that I'm noticing nothing ever spawns in. So I kind of think there's little rest spots. So here's one right here. I'll just get here in the back. Alright, I'll be right back, folks. I'm not going to put anything on YouTube, so that's it. Alright, let's get back to streaming proper now. Alright, probably have to fix our location too. Our location for our screen. Well, we're right where we need to be. But I think, like I said the last time, I'm still just a little too close. Let's see, let me find my controller here. Alright, back to my 30-foot screen. Do you guys like the googly eyes? I think they're freaking awesome. I actually got them at VMworld. They were, one of the booths was giving out a cardboard for VR a couple years back. But the box they had the cardboard in, I think is fantastic. It had these Google eyes on it. That's what I call them. I mean, I don't know if I call them anything else. Definitely Google eyes, right? So, still working on that. Yeah, that was a better job. I wonder if I can jump into that hole. Nah, I don't think I can. Just curiosity. I know, curiosity killed the cat. Alright, so we've got some red. We've got a lot of red here. So we're going to end up in a firefight. Let's see if we can get a grenade in there, though. Bam, bitch. Embarrassing if I let these frickers kill me. Alright, air ship. Probably means there's more shit to come. I could go down below and show you how you get killed real quick. There's some pretty bad guys down there. Alright, let's go kill these guys. My Might as well. Where are they? They're ahead of me? Oh yeah, there they are. Oh, there's a Reaver with them. Damn it. But he doesn't understand, so I'm gonna fucking kill him. I ain't done with you, bitch. Fuck. Oh, well, at least I killed the Reaver. You die, bitch. Where am I getting shot from? Fuck. Jesus freaking Christ. Am I fucking surrounded? I'm leaning over in my chair and shit like that's somehow helping me. A lot of ammo I'm using in this. Fuck. Alright, little drug fuck. Hear the fuckers. Alright. Let's go kill shit. Still think I left. She may have come cleaned up, but still think I left her dragged over here. Oh, take the spoon now. I mean, if you can collect it, there's reasons there, right? Alright, let's get out of here. It's freaking amazing. Yeah, we should probably start working towards where the hell we're supposed to be going. Actually, I kind of want to know where we're at as far as, oops. We're halfway there. I mean, we can just keep shooting people, I guess. Another drop off right where I'm freaking going. Good fun fucking stuff. Let's see. Well, I did say I wanted to. Fuck. Well, still the goddamn direction we gotta go.
See that?
Alright, good fucking fun. Alright, here we go. Well, alright, so what? I'm back for you, fucker. Damn it. Yeah, no shit. Fuck. Did I die enough for everyone's satisfaction there? Shit. Alright, well, let's go do our frickin' Archon that we're supposed to kill. Better watch out, this area's gonna repop soon. God damn it. Hung up on something. Yeah.
Entire area. What we really need to find is the warp line, so we can jump to any planet or world. Our only hope is where we found our chicken. We have to go back.
Jumped at my own shadow there. That was funny. Those moments you have, right? I was right. It is this way. I knew that was the way that it was. Oh. It says they're there. It says I'm actually surrounded by the fuckers. So I might be. I hear them. Well, of course it is. Me too. You think? Fuck. Alright, we're gonna die if we don't get into a spot to take some cover. Fuck, man. Shit, get out. Fuck. fucker. That's right, bitch. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I thought I was gonna die there. I was definitely gonna die there. That was great. Alright. Alright, so we'll have to go get a pistol. Whew. Glad that went that way. I think we were like gonna die or something. I don't think I actually have to have a pistol to use that. We'll see. Alright, so let's say, hey, we picked up a hand cannon. So we have it. Oh yeah, I bought it, I think. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I did buy some shit over here. Let's see what we got. 24, 18, 22. Alright, so it's definitely these. So let's right there. And grab that. Those are definitely nice. Cool. It'll be a rare item. Uncommon, not a rare item. And I need a new cloak. What the hell? Oh yeah, I haven't even owned it. That was pretty cool. Go see what that new armor looks like. So hilarious. I need to get some more emotes. Alright, so let's go turn in our quest. That was fun. We had gotten some good firefights there. Gotta remember not to charge forward on the hunter. Titan's a little more charge forward-ish. The hunter's a little, I mean, he's got the knife, but Titans we gotta kill is charge forward with, you know, like 8, 10 mobs there, which I know better. I mean, I'm a big WoW player, big FPS player. You know, I mean, I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I know not just charging to mobs, but sometimes it works out. We didn't die once during the Archon fight, so I thought I was going to die, but we didn't die. Let's close this. We don't need this over here. It's got all the back over here. You guys see me okay though. So, just check to see if anybody had any chat stuff. Sorry, it's hard to ignore here because you actually would respond to it. But you can always take a look. Alright, let's go in. Don't tell me what's possible.
Consciousness. Here, in the tower. Not
Early bird, the worm, all that. You know what I'm talking about. Get out there, Guardian. I guess you got a good story out.
I guess that's true. That's probably about it.
Nice job, Guardian.
Well, thank you, Kate. I did it all to impress you, buddy. I don't think I'm gonna pre-buy this time. I think we pick up quite a bit of stuff out there.
You watch yourself.
I will try to do that.
Deployed for North. Prepare for a new fight.
So we're going back to the scout runs. Alright, we've got our mission here in the map. As I was. You mean off your table?
Almost didn't see you there.
Right? That's because I'm a badass, babe.
Been to the Crucible?
Funny the weird things you hear when you're walking around.
Buried under Hong Kong. Golden Age strata.
We'll take that. And we'll take that. And we'll take that.
Guardian.
Thank you, sir. Oh, can't afford any of those yet.
Back before I get bored.
You're not already. Alright, well, I'm gonna see if we can get a better pistol. There's a level 4. There's a level 6. Well, we're level 4, so obviously it's this one. Alright, and how about a better scout rifle? I do not like a pulse rifle at all. Alright. Let's... No kidding, alright. Yeah, we seem to be. Thanks, bud. Maybe. You're killing me. Alright, I think the only thing left to do is really go into orbit. Or to go over here and accept your bub upgrade. Space Game. Spark light. Yeah. Huh. Gonna leave it alone. So tempting, so tempting. Let's go see what bounties there are. Yeah, I don't think I'm looking to do any PvP right now, so maybe I'll just skip these. He doesn't have any of the ones I want to do right now. Just for shits and giggles, what's over here? Oh, yeah. Not bad. The pigeons starting to fly away. That's hilarious. Great view. Great view. So I think this is where we're going to call it for the night, guys. So I appreciate all your views, and if you like what you saw, please follow me, and we'll be talking again soon. All right. Take care. Good night. See you tomorrow. Ooh.